Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. So we have seen now that Keith Rowley's hatred for Gary Griffith. He has now made a statement stating that this was the biggest mistake of his life. No, Keith Rowley, the biggest mistake. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. So we have seen now that Keith Rowley's hatred for Gary Griffith. He has now made a statement stating that this was the biggest mistake of his life. No, Keith Rowley, the biggest mistake in Trinidad and Tobago's 60 years was selecting you as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, and we will ensure that that is changed very soon. Patrick Manning made a comment when he stated that this individual is totally out of control when he doesn't have his way. That is exactly what is happening now. It gives the impression that I was selected in the hope that I will go after and target political opponents. And this is what it is. So to clarify to the country, first, Keith Rowley, get your facts straight. I got the highest number of points in 2018 when I applied for the position as Commissioner of Police. The Police Service Commission placed me fourth, and you went out of your way. Was it that in the hope that I will have some type of malice against the opposition and target political opponents? No, Keith Rowley. Unlike certain individuals, I do not put politics before what is right for the country. I swore an oath in office and I did what was correct. And it seemed that that was the concern. But when you have a government that will give $42 million, give it to a commissioner and directly tell and order the commissioner that you will use this to target and arrest political opponents, it seemed that that was your concern. That is what you see as a mistake. So let me clarify what Keith Rowley sees as a mistake. Gary Griffith, under my tenure, it was the highest reduction in every violent crime in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. That is your mistake, Keith Rowley. We were at a point August last year, after we had cracked the criminal elements, put fear in criminal elements, that we were going at a homicide rate of 320 per annum before I left in August last year. That is your mistake, Keith Rowley. Now we are going at a murder rate of over 600 murders per annum. It seems that you prefer that. The fact is that when I took over as Commissioner of Police, public trust and confidence was 14%. It moved to 55%, the highest of any arm in the public service. Is that your mistake, Keith Rowley? Now it is probably back down to 14%, not because of the police service, but because of the hierarchy in the police service that Keith Rowley wanted as acting Commissioner of Police. Is that your mistake, Keith Rowley? The fact is that 89% of the country wanted me to return as Commissioner of Police or had no concern. So the voice of the people being the voice of God is out there. And Keith Rowley had that. Keith Rowley, is your mistake? No, Keith Rowley. Your mistake is that you wanted and you hoped that Gary Griffith would be a puppet and be able to take directions from a government. I had no intention to do so. So you have disregarded the crime statistics. You have disregarded the public trust and confidence in the police service. You have disregarded what the country wants and who the country wanted as a Commissioner of Police. Is this a dog whistle, Keith Rowley, that you have sent to the present Police Service Commission in the hope that they will not put me as number one in the merit list because you know it would be political suicide that the person who 89% of the country wanted to return as Commissioner of Police, the person who would always get the highest number of points in the merit list, the person who was able to lead the police service into a period where it was the highest public trust and confidence, the person that was assisting in ensuring that we had the highest reduction in crime, and that is your mistake, Keith Rowley. And let me further add that his reason and his justification is about firearms. It is the most comical thing I've ever heard. Because, Keith Rowley, you should tell the country who is the very senior government minister that harassed me constantly to provide explosives for a friend in Tobago to get explosives without an OSHA approval. Who was the person who harassed me to get special firearms for himself to kill pigs? Who and his list of all his friends, long and distinguished, harassing me to get firearms fast-tracked for them. People must look in the mirror. But you know what? It's okay when government officials have all of their security to protect themselves, but they want to get their own firearms fast-tracked. But what I was doing was ensuring that law-abiding citizens could get firearms to protect themselves from criminal elements. This government is one. The PNM government has always been one that if it is they don't control you, they will try to destroy you. This government has been spending more time trying to attack me than what they're doing in trying to serve this country. So the audacity of trying to speak about firearms. On 3 occasions, you have specifically handpicked persons, paid them big money, and then tried to get them to write reports that you may like. The country did not buy it, Keith Rowley. You have played your hand and lost. Because every single time you have done this, for 2 years, not one suspect, not one person arrested, nothing done. And now you're coming back with yet another strategy. You have hired 3 police officers who for or they had 30 years experience in the police service, retired a decade ago, and they were not able to arrest one person for dealing with illegal firearms being issued to the public, and now you bring them back, and that is your concern. Your concern is based on a report, based on hearsay, rum shop talk. This is Emailgate Part 2. You tried again, it did not work. So the audacity of what you are trying to get the country to believe of legal firearms. I, Gary Griffith, ensured, yes, that legal firearms must be provided to law-abiding citizens to protect them from criminal elements. You, Keith Rowley, and your government have spent more time targeting law-abiding citizens getting legal firearms than criminal elements who have illegal firearms. 100% of all murders committed in this country in the last 3 years have been by illegal firearms. But your concern is about legal firearms being issued. It shows really and truly which side of the fence the government is on. And I am stating yet again to this country that after 60 years, we are now going to be pensionable as a country, Trinidad and Tobago. The biggest mistake Trinidad and Tobago ever made was to select you, Keith Rowley, as Prime Minister. And we will learn from that mistake. The country now needs to decide. The line has been drawn. Who do you want to serve this country, Keith Rowley or Gary Griffith?